morning, everybody. My name is Nicola and I am simply a stitcher. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, it's great to have you, and if you are returning, thank you for coming and spending a little bit more time with me. So today I am back to my normal programme of Stitch With Me's and floss tubes after my holiday, and today I thought I would get out this piece, which is Envy. The artwork is Marta Dahlig, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, and I thought we'd do a little Stitch With Me. So I'm just mainly filling in on this piece. So yeah, without further ado, I'm going to get cracked on because I have lots to talk about today. It's been a busy old couple of weeks. So I hope everybody is well, and thank you very much for your support. Although I didn't do a floss tube while I was away, I had a couple of Stitch With Me's prepared in advance, which I did release. So if you have gone along and watched those, thank you very much. And yeah, it was a rather good week. We had a very enjoyable few days away. So it started on the Friday. Friday I was working until 5 p.m. and the second I finished work, off we went in the car and we were on our way. We decided to have, because we're travelling to the south coast, if we were to do it sort of all in one hit, you'd be looking at about sort of 6 hours of driving, probably 7, more like 7 with a stop and so on. So we decided to break it up into 2 parts. So we had a stop at just outside of Hemel Hempstead in Hertfordshire, which is sort of to the northwest-ish, west-northwest of London. And we stayed in a little village called Kings Langley, in a Premier Inn. And then the following morning, well, there was no rush to get up, and then we just completed the second leg of our journey the following day. So I was quite tired when we got to the Premier Inn, but you know me, still got out some stitching. I took Maui Princess and the Realm of Middle-earth with me, but the Realm of Middle-earth sat untouched. I just worked on Maui Princess. I'm sure by now you will have seen the progress on that in my floss tube. So I left Hemel Hempstead on the Saturday morning. The check-in for the campsite wasn't until 5 o'clock in the afternoon, which I think was quite late actually, to be honest. I'm used to check-ins being sort of, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, that kind of time. So we decided to take the girls on a little tour, because near Hemel Hempstead is my sort of old stomping ground, as it were, and it's where I lived with my ex-husband, the girl's father. Well, it's close to where I lived. So we were able to show the girls a little bit of history, as it were, because I could show them the church which me and the dad had got married in. And again, we went and drove through the Lee, which is where I spent, some of my time, and in fact where I met their dad. So they could have, a little bit of that history. It didn't mean a lot to them, but I think it just sort of gave them an understanding of where they came from. Because if I hadn't have lived down there, and if I hadn't have been in that village, I wouldn't have met the dad. I wouldn't have got married, and those children would not be here today. So, anyway, the next thing that we did was we went to Windsor for the day. Windsor Castle. Didn't go in because it was very busy, incredibly busy on a weekend. And of course, with it being school holidays here in the UK now as well, the crowds get even bigger. And it was quite a rainy day in Windsor. The rain really hasn't let up very much. It's been sort of wet and gloomy, but we haven't hit our sun, which, you know, if you see my flush tube, you'll see my red face because I catch the sun. I have two looks, Casper and Lobster. I don't look like Casper the ghost, I look like the lobster. Anyway, so Windsor, it absolutely threw it down all day long. So the girls obviously saw the castle and what have you, and we went to into the Windsor station as well, because it's got like a lovely shopping arcade and what have you. And it was just really nice to, you know, be in Windsor and show the girls some more history, really, because of monarchy. You know, whatever your feelings about monarchy, I think they're quite important. They're important to the UK as a country, but I do think that they are important, you know, to the world. We need a monarchy to survive. Well, not necessarily to survive, but we need a monarchy to survive in terms of tourism in this country, because the monarchy do bring in an awful lot of money. I'm not a monarchist. I'm not a supporter of them, but then again, I'm not a dissenter either. I'm very much on the fence about them, but I do know and appreciate that they bring in a heck of a lot more than they actually take. And before anybody gets at me about that, the figures are out there. It's clear to see that the monarchy do bring in a lot of money. So that was Windsor. And then we drove on through to where we were staying, which was a lovely little village called Pagham. And if you're familiar in the UK, it is on the south coast, and it is just to the west of Bognor Regis. And we were staying on a caravan site. And, you know, it was the kind of place we took advantage of what we had there. We were no more than a 10-minute walk away from the beach. There was an amusement arcade nearby, an ice cream parlour and cafe and little supermarkets and so on outside of the campsite. But then again, within the campsite, there was also an amusement arcade and a restaurant and a bar, and, you know, there were activities and stuff that were available as well. So there was lots to it. Oh. And we stayed in a caravan, and the caravan was absolutely beautiful and clean. Couldn't fault it at all. The only thing that, well, I say couldn't fault it at all. The thing that we could pick up was that there was no blooming tin opener in it. So we had to go out and buy a tin opener. You know, on site, like I said, there was a swimming pool as well. In fact, there were two, one indoor, one outdoor. The girls certainly took advantage of that. Out of the 7 days that we were there, they were in the pool 6 times, in the indoor pool, and they went in the outdoor pool once. To be fair, it was quite cold, comparatively speaking, for July. So, they didn't want to, sort of be in the outdoor pool much, which I understand. So the night, obviously the night that we got there, we just had a quick tea and unpacked and had a bit of a mooch round. We'd already sort of scoped out the arcade and what have you for the girls and the beach. But to be fair, for us as a family, we've never been a family that's a beach sitter family. If we go on holiday, we find things to do. So in what we did is in no particular order, because we packed in so much, I can't really remember the right order, if I'm honest. So if I do jump about days, then pardon me, but yeah. So on the Monday, the day after we got there, we passed on the way in a farm and a farm shop and a pick your own place. For those of you who are not familiar with that, it's where sort of soft fruits and vegetables and things are grown, and you can go and select your own produce, and you pay for what you pick. So that was the thing that we did on the first day. So we went and we got strawberries, blackberries, some Logan berries, which are like a raspberry, and some rhubarb. And we'd had a bit of a shop as well and a look round, and it was just lovely. And it wasn't, farm shops are notorious for being just a little bit more expensive, and yeah, they are a little bit more expensive, but the quality of goods that you get compared to a supermarket, you get something that is homegrown, homemade, locally produced, locally sourced, that kind of thing. I love that sort of thing. So we were there, we got some bread and some jam and Andy got a local beer, some baked goods, and obviously this fruit. And the girls really enjoyed that, just that time, just fruit picking. It was quite an entertaining thing to do, and I enjoyed it. I used to go blackberry picking all the time when I was a little girl in the sort of late summer, early autumn, and I used to love it. So to do it again, I thoroughly enjoyed it. We went to visit, it's a very small city, but a city nonetheless, Chichester, which is a beautiful, beautiful place. Lays flat, so there's no hills or anything like that. Huge cathedral in there. Lots of things to see in and around the town. Lots of old buildings. Really, really nice place. Definitely worth a visit. Had a lunch out. Is that it? Yes, couldn't find my colour then. Had our lunch out. Had a walk around the cathedral and the Bishop's Gardens. Did a bit of shopping. Girls like shopping. And when we got back to the caravan, we had arranged to go swimming. What was that, Chichester Day? I can't remember. So we went swimming, and I mean, I love swimming, and I hadn't been in a pool since we went to France, which was just before the pandemic, 2019, I want to say. I think so, yeah, we went to Nice, and I haven't been in a pool since Nice. So it was nice to get a swim. The girls enjoyed it, of course. We didn't really use much of the facilities bar the swimming pool. I mean, we went to the bar one night and found it to be quite noisy. We went to the restaurant one night, but it's the last night. But other than that, we didn't really use much of the facilities, apart from the swimming. The swimming was definitely appealing. The only other thing we did sort of use, or the girls went and got, was they have like a little go-kart, like a campsite go-kart, which you can, like a pedal car, and they enjoyed that, although they're both rubbish at steering, apparently, according to Andy. We spent a day in Bognor Regis, and again did a bit of shopping and sightseeing, and went to the amusement arcades and onto the beach, and I had a little paddle and, you know, all the rest of it. And Bognor's a beautiful place. It really is. The seaside resort, we found it very clean. It was not wanting at all in the cleanliness department. So, excuse me. Bognor was a decent day, and we had beautiful warm sunshine on that day, and the sea was kind of shining and blue, and it was almost like looking at the Med, even though we were kind of at the English Channel. So yeah, and again we had our lunch and tried to go somewhere local, and I think we had another swim that day. I mean, me and Andy swam the Monday, the Wednesday and the Friday, so the girls swam every day. We took a day trip into Portsmouth and saw the Spinnaker Tower, which is very tall. And again, we went shopping and spent time sightseeing. Went across to Gosport as well. Places I've not been before. So that was quite enjoyable. And the girls quite enjoyed the ferry too. We had a day or two, at least one day, just around the campsite in Pagham. A couple of days, I think, actually, around the campsite in Pagham. And we didn't sort of wander far, because, to be fair, we did want to, you know, sort of relax. It's our holiday just as much as the girls, and I didn't want Andy to be, you know, driving everywhere every day. You know, it's his holiday too. we managed to dodge, I think, most of the rain, and we caught the best of the sun. Would I go back? Yes, I would. The food was beautiful. We didn't have a single meal that we didn't like. The people who we met were lovely. Although, to be fair, we are ourselves to ourselves kind of people. And we spent sort of time together as a foursome, which was nice, and you know, there was some happy memories made, and I mean, what more is there? I am now back to work, sadly. I'd love not to have to work, but unfortunately that's not an option. The cat certainly missed us. She has been letting out lots of meows since we came home. We didn't kennel her this time. We had somebody come in and look after her. And there have been one or two, shall we say, yowls since we came back. I think she's kind of showing her annoyance that we'd left her. But to be fair, she was well looked after, so... And I think it was the first day that we were down there. I've got on my phone, as you guys may remember, I've got security cameras for my house. And the app on my phone was going absolutely nuts. I'm like, what's going on? The first day that we were away, it all kicked off here. So the lady, or I said the lady, not much of a lady about her when you hear her language. The woman across the street was absolutely off on one, and there were two females, I'll just call them females, shouting at the house, and I'm watching it all on my camera, and then next thing you know, a window's been smashed. I was like, oh, fabulous, this is great. And wouldn't you know it, since we've been home, it's been quiet. But hey ho. Coming home was a long drive because we did it all in one day. We didn't have an overnight halfway up this time. And we stopped in Northampton and went and got some food, and Andy did a village while he was there as well. And that was quite nice. We enjoyed that, girls and I. And we got back about 5 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. I didn't stitch for 3 days. Thursday, the Friday and the Saturday, I did not do a single stitch any of those days. I did some every other day, but not on those 3 days. I was having a nice time, and or I was busy, and or I just couldn't be bothered. I just wanted a few days off from it, you know. My stitchy book hadn't left me, but I just couldn't be bothered to stitch, and probably because I had done an awful lot. I mean, I've done more walking this holiday. In one of the days I did more walking than I've been doing in an entire week. So, obviously I will have been tired. I didn't sleep awfully well in the caravan, I have to say. I found the bed to be a little bit uncomfortable, and I would wake up with like huge pain in my hips and have to turn over. And it was, I mean, we've got a king size memory foam bed here at home, so we're kind of a bit spoiled. To change that for a standard double it's quite a difference, isn't it? So but we managed. They might not have been entirely suitable, excuse me, for me, but we did manage. Coffee time. I hope the people who went to the Floss Friends Retreat had a lovely time. It just happened to fall on the weekend I was travelling home, so I couldn't be there. And it was in a hotel that was just down the road from me, so it would have taken me 15-20 minutes to get there in the car, but unfortunately by the time I got back on the Saturday evening, I mean, I could have gone there on Sunday, but I was very tired. Good morning, Hannah. Hannah is up and awake. She's had a good holiday too, didn't you, kid? I've never seen her eat so much. She's only a wee slip of a thing, and for her to clear a plate of food is quite something. I bet she did. By now you might have seen on my floss tube and my floss tube extra, my Gecko Rouge kit arrived. If you haven't seen that, there will be a card at the end. It's a Lorna Lane. Beginning to become a fan of her work. It's a limited edition piece too. So I did an unboxing of it because I ordered it to come in a box. And it's just beautiful. The kit is just beautiful. I also acquired a kit from a charity shop, which again I will have shown in my floss tube, so go and check that out. I'm not talking about your DVD addiction, Hannah. Hannah bought that many blooming DVDs. Ridiculous. DVD addict. bought a new decoration for the Christmas tree. I usually try and buy something that I can put on the tree from every place we visit. The tree almost becomes a travel record. I did it a lot when we were travelling abroad a lot, you know, pre-pandemic. But yeah, I've not been to the south coast since I went to Cornwall when the girls were little, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I don't think I could have had much more than a week though, because by the time that week was over, I was definitely ready to come home. And have a sleep in my own bed. I really hope you're seeing this okay. I've just looked up and I've seen it. The image was slightly blurred. Okay, so for this next bit of time, I'm going to go through some of the comments that I've had, as usual, as ever. Okay. Let's just go back to... We'll go back to my last floss tube back in 2 weeks, I think. Oh, hang on, wait a minute. New, right. The last one is my Chatty Stitch with Me, which was on Envy. Again. Sharon says thanks for the explanation per the Ada. Talking about Timo, that she was happy with it. Mrs. Miggins, another great stitch with me. Lovely to hear of others' questions. I'd never heard of a queen stitch before, so she'll be looking that up on Google. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? So Linda Fabrizio asks, another great video for the 7 deadly sins, which one have you completed? And I see there's a purple one. Why am I getting a feeling I've answered this? I think I answered it in my floss tube. So I have completed Avarice, and this one is Envy. Avarice is in golds and burgundies. Envy obviously in shades of blues and green. Then we have, in no particular order, Gluttony, which is in shades of pink and rose. Sloth, which is in shades of blue. Wrath, which is in reds and burgundies. Lust, which is in dark pinks. And Vanity, which is in purples. I have all the patterns and I plan on doing all 7. She also says, talking about my last My Princess Stitch with Me, she has the freebie and the regular pattern. There's much more to the picture than what the freebie shows, and it's still beautiful though. Yeah, I didn't want to take on the regular one with it being so much bigger, and the freebie for me just showed enough with the My Princess. And to be fair, I mean, I'm now sort of almost 62% with it. So it's coming along really well. And I am barreling down on a finish with that one, which is good because I have plenty of kits to do, as you will have all seen. Jane says, enjoy your holiday. Yes, will do, did do. Leslie Ann, thanks. Lovely progress on your whips. Thank you for including the stitch count. No problem. I actually quite like doing that now. So I will continue to do that. Sharon says, have a great holiday and enjoy your rest. I did. Again, Mrs. Miggins. Good to see progress. Which phone did I get? Now, I've been asked this a couple of times because I am thoroughly impressed with how this camera shows my stitching. The colours are so much more clear and vibrant, and I just love it. It is a Samsung, because I'm a Samsung girl. This is the A14, Hannah.
Yes.
Yeah. The model is the A14.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just love it because it's showing things up so much better. And I took a photograph of Mary Princess last night for Instagram, and it just kind of popped.
I've got the A13, you've got the one up from me.
Yeah.
A14.
And Sharon says again, have a nice holiday. Hope new stamp camera shows the stitching very clear. Yes, it certainly surely does. I'm excited about this camera, like I was excited if you saw my unboxing about my new kit. Nice progress on the map of Middle Earth. Yeah, I am still wanting to do more on the Realm map, but I have to say now I'm behind on my sort of monthly start and finishes because I haven't done another single stitch on July's. I might get a little bit done in August, but other than that, it's going to go in the December pile. I've got to pick out an August start and finish yet. Sally Ann says to have a lovely break. Enjoy your holidays, colours sure do pop. Thank you, Michelle. Vicky Pickstock, love your channel and your stitching. What do you use to grid your fabric? Talked about this before, Vicky, in another sort of couple of videos. I use a friction pen, which is a heat erasable ball pen. It can only be used in certain, shall we say, climates because it is heat erasable, but in extreme cold, the ink will come back. And I would only ever use the pen on my full coverage projects where I am covering the grid lines with my stitching. And again, it's one of those things, do your research, try it out. If it works for you, great. But if not, there are other sorts of methods out there. There's other gridding pens. And of course, there is always the old favourite of stitching on a grid. But I tend to use my friction pen. They're not cheap. They're about £15 a time from Amazon. They don't last a very long time. Oh, there's the cat having a wow.
Oh, call me.
So yeah, just do your research. That's the best thing I can say about that. Curly Crafter, absolutely beautiful work. Have a great holiday. Your videos will be missed. Thank you. That's lovely to hear. Although I did put out those Stitch With Me's Curly Crafter, did you watch them? Please tell me you did. Karen, my lovely friend Needlebug. Have a great holiday. You will be missed. But enjoy the break. New phone has a great camera. Yes, it does. The pieces look fabulous. They certainly do on this camera, Karen. I am loving it. Absolutely loving it. I've always been a Samsung sort of person. with phones. It works for me. Samsung works for me. Joe Sorensen, new camera is excellent. Colours are much more vibrant, yeah. Enjoy holiday, stay safe. Yep, we did. I mean, one thing I didn't sort of mention is that poor Andy was ill for a couple of days before we went away. He picked up a bug. We're not sure whether it was a little food poisoning bug or just a bug that was going round, but he wasn't well for a couple of days, bless him. But fortunately, he did pick up and was all good. Sue says to enjoy holiday, and then another Sue in New Zealand, wishing you a restful break, catch you on your next floss tube. Julie, have a lovely holiday. Jane, now this is on the realm of Middle Earth, the last stitches me that I did on the realm of Middle Earth. When I filled in the letter H, the new phone really makes the colours pop, and yeah, you can really see it on that piece. That and Maui Princess. I suppose even Envy, because it's looking so much greener. But there you go. Clara, you're too cute about your camera. Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, I do love it. And, you know, like I said, some of the same about my new gecko kit, Clara, but you'll have seen that. Have a wonderful, fun trip. Enjoy, see you when you get back. And she knows which gecko kit I purchased. And you'll have seen it now, Clara, on the video in all its glory. Gorgeous colours for it. And Clara again comments on my Realm of Middle Earth. Enjoyed watching the H take shape. I'm stitching on a Gecko Rouge kit called I Would Follow You Anywhere, artwork by Kim Ellery. I might have to look at that. I might have to go and see what that's all about there, Clara. Right, Amanda. Lots of comments. I'm trying to rattle through. I love watching your Flush Tube videos. I have the Heaven and Earth Designs version of the Realm of Middle Earth, and I have to say the colours in this one feels brighter. Can't wait to see more updates. Yeah, the colours do seem to be bright. They're not muted at all. And of course, my phone is doing the business with the colour balance. Have a wonderful getaway. Yes, I did. Thank you, Patty. Brianna, love the new camera. You hear lots of comments about this camera. Julie Church has just loved your stitching. Thank you, Julie. I don't know if I've seen you comment before, but thank you very much. Stitching shelf comments. Susan Taylor, new phone camera is amazing. Yes, it certainly is. What kind did you get? Like I said, it's a Samsung A14. I had no idea your map had all of those bright colours, and the stitching shelf looks so pretty. Yeah, the stitching shelf, the colours are incredibly vibrant on it, and it's always kind of disappointed me that you couldn't see what I could see, but now you can. Thanks for posting stitches with me whilst on holiday. Hope Andy's feeling better and you're all having a great time. Yeah, Andy's much better. He was still a little bit wonky the day we went, but he was fine. So Clara again on my stitching shelf. Love seeing the beautiful colours through the new phone camera. I was stitching right along with you on my guitar and Soul 2 by Artisy. I reached 80% and then switched to Medea, charted by Tilton Crafts. Clara, you're enabling me. I'm going to have to go look at these charts. Gioconda Mezza Araya. I hope I've said that right and not absolutely butchered it. Oh, Andy's back home. No work today by the looks of things for him. I was wondering if you had issues with thread slipping between the threads of the fabric. I use the Easy Grid even weave and have this issue. To be fair, I don't. But I think I explained about slippage. I'm going to have to perhaps do it as a standalone video about slippage, but I know Karen's done one. The needle bug, so yeah, go take a look. Okay. So yeah, I think I'll do a standalone video about slippage. I've got many videos in mind to do, but it's getting around to doing them, isn't it? Okay, I have been binge watching Your Stitch With Me's, and this piece in Tent Stitch is making me thinking about doing it for my next piece again. That is Gioconda Mezza, talking about on my Leonid Afromov piece. And thank you very much for your for watching. It's very much appreciated. A couple of days ago, so we're at the more recent stuff now. So I put out the last Stitch With Me that I put out was on She Sleeps, and Kel's Bell says lovely pattern. Yeah, it is. It's a very pretty one. I know that Marika have done that, and I'm doing the Heaven and Earth Designs version. I think there's at least one Floss Tuber that's doing the Marika version that I know of. Now we talk about comments on my latest Gecko Rouge. So that is, it's a Lorna Lane kit. I got it in the box, and it is Magpie. There are 45 kits, or were 45 available, and there are now less. It's a limited run on the Gecko Rouge website. So Mrs. Miggins says, really enjoyed watching your excitement. And I've worked long enough hours and I should be treating myself. Yeah. Didn't realise that the Royal Mail worked on Sundays, because this box actually turned up on a Sunday morning. They do up here on a weekend to catch up, because they've got a shortage of postal workers. So they'll do it to catch up on post that's been missed during the week, and parcel deliveries tend to be on a weekend with them, I think. So I don't mind as long as I get my parcel. I'm not bothered, not fussed. So Sharon says her last Gecko Rouge came in a box and it was a shame to disturb it. Yeah, I felt that. The only downside was that particular chart that she had wasn't Compact and Keeper compatible. She loves the Magpie. Can't wait to start it. Sure, I can't wait to start it. Will I start the Bee first? That is a really good question. I don't know which I'll start first. Maybe I'll wait until I've got 2 slots and start them both. But yeah, it is a lovely pattern and a lovely piece. Like I said in the video, I've been wanting a Magpie pattern. It's finding the right one. But as the saying goes, 1 for sorrow, 2 for joy, 3 for a girl, 4 for a boy, 5 for silver, 6 for gold, 7 for a secret never to be told. And then it goes on, 8's a kiss, 9's a wish, and 10 I can't remember what it is for the life of me. So what I thought was, because the image is a single magpie, when it does come to framing it, I will frame it with the minder as well. So there's 2 magpies because of my superstitious nature. Curly Crafter, Gecko Rouge kits are such an experience. Yeah, I love them. Love them. My bank account doesn't though. What a lovely kit. That's an awesome idea with the needle minder. I planned on doing that with the little gecko, but might had the needle minder also. Well, that's also a good idea, attaching the little gecko on, but gecko and magpie doesn't really go, does it? I hope you had a wonderful holiday and welcome back. Thank you. I did. Great kit, beautiful colours. Will enjoy seeing it come to life. Thank you, Joe. So will I. And it was just one of them that I couldn't wait to order. You know, couldn't sort of get it in checkout quick enough. Rivers Love, how are you ending your threads? I've done a video about this. I'm going to try and make it a habit to include it. If you hover over the top right hand corner here about where my finger is, an eye should come up. So I'm going to try and get into the habit of, in that eye, putting my starting and ending the threads video. Sharon Fennell, it's a lovely kit and well done for treating myself. I deserve it. Thank you. I was very excited when I got it, obviously. You see, I know that everybody that's watched that video will understand the excitement of getting that kit. I mean, I've had, you know, a couple of gecko rouges. I've got my black cat and butterflies, my bee, this one. I also got the Miss Cherry Martini one, and that was a kit that came in a box, but the box that it came in wasn't nothing like this box. This box was, you know, spectacular. Jodie says, love the beautiful new chart and packaged beautifully. Looking forward to seeing it come to life. Thank you, Jodie. And then Mrs. Miggins comes back and says, I forgot to say, it's a great idea to have the second magpie on the needle minder. I always make sure I salute when I see a single magpie. Well, for us, it's good morning, Mr. Magpie. How's your wife and family? It's interesting to see how these superstitions sort of change, isn't it? And people's different sort of take on them. My brother salutes and says, good morning, Captain, when he sees a single magpie. So, and Clara's come on and said, beautiful and luxurious kit, and I definitely deserved it after working the long hours. Thank you, Clara. Yes, absolutely luxurious. And I love it. Something out of the ordinary. It's fabulous. Then Norma says, what a beautiful kit. Can't wait to see me start work on it. Thank you, Norma. Like I said, I think, what I might do is I might wait till I've got 2 slots and start that and B. And that is the end of my comments, unless there's anything popped in. Nope, nothing popped in. So, thank you all for your lovely comments. I really, really do appreciate them, and I love to read them. And occasionally, like I said before, I will pop a reply underneath, like I have done about the starting and ending my threads. But yeah, I shall try and pop that video card in every Stitch With Me I do where I use that method, I think. And try and keep it simple. And speaking of Stitch With Me's, we are not far away from the end of this one because I have work today. I can't retire just yet. I would say I'm waiting for that lottery win, but I have to go halfway and buy a ticket. So my next stitch with me, I think the next one will probably, will it be an ASMR? Feeling it'll be an ASMR, my next one. Now, I have small people coming to stay with us for a week, so you might not get another chatty until after they've gone home. I can film ASMR, I can film alternative, but chatty ones are difficult when there are extra people knocking about. So I might, again, just leave the chatty until the next time it comes round. I've got a lot done in this one, just over 200 stitches. Started off having stitched 160, and now, in fact I'm at more than 200. I'm at 392, so I've done 232 stitches, which is quite good since I've been gas bagging my way through that. So I'm going to leave it there because, as I said, I've got work today. I've got back to normality. So that is Envy. A little bit more done, and I'm loving them colours. So all that's really left is to say, oh, excuse me, thank you very much for watching. If you have been subscribed, then just make sure that you're still subscribed and the notification bell is pressed. If you do have a comment, please do pop it down below. I do love to read and respond to your comments in these chatty stitch with me's. They aid me enormously in something to say. I'll pop some videos in the end card. I'll pop up my Gecko Rouge unboxing. So, do let me know what you think to it if you haven't already seen it. If you do have a moment, please do go and watch another video. It all helps my channel. And of course, it'll support any channel revenue which I get through watches to support my Gecko Rouge habit. So all that's left to say is thanks very much for watching. Take care, happy stitching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye for now.